The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
For those of you just tuning in, this is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth in Vision show. I'm Malik Shabazz or Malik or Minister. The elders told me just don't call me late for supper. We have the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. He's live, he's in studio, and tomorrow, Friday, 4 p.m., the doors are going to open at Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church, 586 Owen Street, Detroit, Michigan, 4820. Doors open at 4. Program begins at 6 p.m. Dr. Umar will be live in living color, melanated color. He's got his books. He's got his tapes. He will make sure you take them, buy them out. He will autograph. You're going to autograph the books too,
yes,
right,
sir.
John?
Everyone.
You do. And we are to 2017, where we're all going to get up, stand up, moving with our left foot forward, ancient Kemetic, ancient Egyptian to trample out evil and representing closeness to the heart. We're going to move on to new heights. You want to close this year out right with Dr. Umar Johnson. I want to open up the phone lines to everybody, include always in the show or tomorrow or whatever, or Umar will, but you can call in 313-868-0351, 313-868-0342, 313-868-4336. Good evening, caller.
Let them know that there were some who called.
We've called Sister Keela, asked you to call back because we were doing our opening. But if you would call now, we will be more than happy to take your calls. Okay, let's go to this caller. Caller.
Yes, what's going on?
You speak with Dr. Umar.
Yeah, this definitely does.
Are you stationary?
Yeah, I'm stationary.
Okay, we having a little trouble hearing you, brother. You on speakerphone?
Yeah, I'm on speaker.
Can you come off speaker and talk directly into the phone?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, there you go.
Now.
Okay, now Dr. Umar can hear you. Go. Would you repeat yourself, please?
I'm expecting something different out of this brother. I've never seen none of the elders who will respond in this fashion. No Dr. Clark or none of them. This information has came from ADAPT, and they all got it twisted, and it's going to eight and to be acting like children about some information that we inherited. I'm pissed off because everybody's looking like, oh, this a bunch of crap. So yeah, I'm pissed.
At
all this tough talk, we come from the street, and we got down like that for real down here in Detroit. All the Inkster, so I know how this shit.
Hold it, put it. We don't go there. On the internet, you can. On TV, we're on TV. We don't lie. We don't go there. I don't know what is it, if this is about SETI or what, but I'm kind of not liking the tone. With all due love, we're gonna wish you well and peace, Dr. Umar. Something.
Yes. What he did, he embarrassed the whole thing. Let's be honest about it.
Who? Okay, thank you, brother. We want to thank you. Other callers, please feel free to call in. The lines are clear. He's from Detroit, family well known.
Situation that had occurred between him and some brothers in New York City a couple weeks ago, and it did not look to be a positive situation. So I had announced that I think it was necessary for the elders of the conscious community to call a meeting of all the young lecturers and scholars and create some sort of list of principles that we could agree on as it relates to our conduct with each other. It was not a meeting to force anyone to work with somebody they don't want to work with.
Right.
It was about establishing a climate of mutual respect. It could maybe I'm working with the family in New York that he had the differences with, which is not the case because I'm an independent operator. But when I made my requests, I made it honestly and sincerely from the heart. So he made some statements about me that were attack-based, some very negative insinuations about me, but he did. So hearing the accusations that he made, some of the things he said about me personally, and in hindsight, I should not have responded the way that I did, and I take responsibility for that. But at the same time, you can't always be the goody two-shoe. And it's like whenever I decide to express my discontent with someone being disrespectful towards me, everybody goes up in arms. You know, don't get me wrong. I should have done a better job with the way I handled the situation. I'll take full responsibility for that. But at the same time, when you're dealing with that degree of animosity, that degree of negativity that's always being hurled by those who may not be as successful in this work, you get tired of it because at the end of the day, you still a human being yourself. So again, I wasn't right with the way I responded. I should have ignored it, you know, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that through these years, things have been said. I've heard things. I've seen certain subliminal shots, and I have ignored them. But once he finally decided to mention my name, I felt the need to respond. And, you know, I had challenged the brother to a debate about what we stand for on my platform. It wasn't about violence and none of that, but I understand. And I've been doing this work before you even knew me. But be that as it may, the long story short is neither he or I acted in a way that our community would have liked us to see, We were both wrong.
Akila, who does it remind you of? Same. In every relationship that I have out here in the community with everybody, and I'm not saying I don't have no halo. I don't have no halo, no wing. Somebody, something, don't know about something. For the sake of the son and bunum, the African doing the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people. And it's almost always me. And I'm always complaining to those that are close to me. Look, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm an OG out here. I get that. But you kept allies, members, fake members, supporters, fake supporters, strangers, other leaders, and you be 100%, I forgive you. Let's just, it doesn't work that way. We're human beings. So sometimes we're going to express ourselves in ways that we don't want to. But the key is that you know that it wasn't the best way, and that you know that SETI and none of these other cats, they all over the internet. You go on YouTube, they attacking you left and right. Boyce, Polite, and I don't want to diss nobody. There's attacking you. For what? You're not bothering them. You're not attacking them. You're not taking food out of their pocket. You're doing what the Creator and the ancestors want you to do. All we got to do is figure out God, Creator, Oshun, whatever. What do you want of me? What do you require of your servant, me? Don't be mad at you. Thank God when I see God coming out of you. Now, I want God to come out of me. You know what I'm saying, Baba? Because we are all that we got, and the enemy keeps us fighting. We throw boulders at each other, and boulders at the one, you know, integrationists, black nationalists, Dr. King, Malcolm X. They both loved us. And they both wanted us to be free. They had disagreements on how we get there. But they both loved us and wanted the same thing. The enemy delights when we kill each other, just like when pathologically sick black men, then And we're going to do this work, and we're going to win. But for the record, you are not threatening any violence.
No, sir.
At Steady,
no, sir.
Or anybody.
And I never have. And I never have. And the one thing that has to be made clear is when you look at all these little beefs that I've had with different personalities in the conscious community, I was never the aggressor. You cannot point to one altercation where I said something disrespectful about someone first. I stay in my lane. I mind my business. I do my work. You know, I pretty much operate in isolation because I don't think a lot of people in the conscious community are sincere. I'm just being honest. I think there's a motive above and beyond serving the people. And I'm not saying I'm no saint, but when it comes to the work, I'm very sincere about it. And I think that's why people love me the way that they do. You know, so I've never aggressed, never. This situation would have never even happened had my name been called. But I still maintain that I could have conducted myself in a way that is much more becoming of someone who's about to open a school for our boys. In fact, today, Baba, it was a reflective day for me because as I check my texts and my emails, and my phone been going crazy all day. I've had 500 texts after I took a 2-hour nap. And most of the people, they just want to spread the nonsense. Most of the people don't want conflict resolution. They want conflict continuation. You know, had I known mocked up and with this, and these are the same people who say we don't need conflict, but yet you instigate it, you promulgate it, you share it. But again, it couldn't have happened with email that hurt me to refocus. In fact, I would say I got about 20 emails and texts a day from brothers between the age of 14 and 25 who expressed their disappointment. And that's when I had to look at myself and say, 2017, you can't do this no more. Got a tough.
We all love and respect much of his work. His uncle Pianki been out here for a number of years and works with young children over at Keebalan Center. So we understand, but you don't see Umar throwing water on the hot plate of grease. You don't see that. So we're not going to let anybody call in with that. You got to be polite. You got to be precise. You got to point this and that. Choose one. Why can't I choose the best of both giants? Choose the best and keep it moving. So we're going to open up the lines for you to talk to Umar, but this ain't the housewives, this ain't keeping up with the Kardashians, this ain't the homosexual hour. This is truth in vision. That's that television doo-doo. You bring it elsewhere. Umar said 2017, we going up. What did Michelle Obama say? Who's the best thing of Obama? Michelle. When they go low, we go high. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. Is this me?
It's you.
Yay! Assalamu alaikum, brothers. How are you today?
Walaikum salam.
Yes. Dr. Umar, I am so glad that you apologize. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
He can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can.
I'm so glad to hear that you apologize. My comment was going to be on the rant. But since you apologized and I heard everything that you said, I'm going to move on. Listen off. You know, one of the things I did when President Obama first got elected, the following day I got dressed and I went to work. When President Trump got elected, the next day I woke up and I went to work. I don't understand why everyone wants to make me. And maybe if we change our narrative and instead of speaking about how negative things would be, speak about the positive, maybe we can help shape our own futures by our own words coming to life.
We suffer from a paralyzing pessimism. There is a paralyzing psychological pessimism that Africans in America have that sabotages, spoils, and in everything we can't be. well-educated, so-called successful African Americans are as pessimistic about our opportunities to change our reality as those who are at the underclass or working class level of the community. Dr. King, inside of the Dr. King Center down in Atlanta, where I will be on King Day, the good Reverend Dr. Bernice King, Dr. King's daughter, invited me to be part of a panel to discuss race relations in America. But inside of the museum part, there's a note of a Dr. King speech that he hand wrote out, and he spoke of the tranquilizing drug of pessimism. And as a psychologist, that resonates with me so deeply because I think most of our hindrances are psychological. We do not have an economic hindrance, not with $600 million on McDonald's. We don't have an economic hindrance with $2 billion on athletic footwear. There is no economic hindrance with $4 billion in liquor and booze. So there's no economic hindrance. There is no true hindrance except for the psychological. I would say that there's 3 psychological dysfunctionalities that operate in the black subconscious, collectively and individualistically. The first one, we depend on divine intervention more than any other people in America. I understand that we're the most spiritual. I understand that we created religion, but we also have to look at the handicapping that we inflict upon ourselves. Then God, with black people, we expect God to solve our problems without us doing anything ourselves. And all the other cultures, they believe in God, they have Allah, they have Jesus, they have it all. But their dependency on spiritual intervention is not as significant as it is with black folk. In other words, we're using God as a scapegoat too much. That's number one. No, it's governed before we dive into reparations. And I believe that we will get those reparations. But before there can be external reparations, there has to first be internal reparations. If every African got $5 million today in reparations, Mercedes-Benz $5 million struck on the outside. Let's do the healing and let's do the rehabilitation that has to take place in the inside. When other people come to America, they don't have this psychological hang-up that the government owes me. Lose it. Get over it. You're going to get nothing from the government until you give to yourself. And the third hindrance that black people have, once again, is this inhumane belief that we cannot overcome centuries of oppression thinking. Of the black reality is the negative expectations that we have for each other and our institutions. Black people are interested in everyone else except themselves. We have no psychological capital invested in each other. We have very little faith in African people to change. And until you change the mind, you revolutionize anything.
Wow. Powerful answer. Powerful answer. Well, we're up against a mandatory break. So, callers, I want you to hold on. For those of you just tuning in, this is the Get Up, Stand Up, Truth in Vision show. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is back. He's black by popular demand. Y'all wanted him, and he here in Detroit. And he will be speaking tomorrow, Friday. Doors open, 4 p.m. Program starts at 6 at Mount Church, Owen, Michigan, on the north end, 48202. Dr. Kenneth Flowers is the pastor. Umar will be speaking. He'll be teaching. You know he's going to raise the roof. He's going to have his book. He's going to autograph it. He's going to tapes. He's going to take pictures, and he's going to teach. And for those of you who missed it, one of Mayor Mike Duggan's aides, a very beautiful, very strong sister, Tara Defoe, my good friend, her and I go way back, and we had a long 5-hour conversation yesterday, and she was here, And she met Umar, and Dr. Umar will be coming back later on in January to begin looking at potentials, because you just can't do it myself. My group can't do it by myself. Umar can't. Join us in helping him. See, the ancestors gave him the vision. I'm not hating on him. I'm getting on board with the vision because I don't want to fight God. The Marcus Garvey Frederick Douglass Academy. So look, do not turn from this dial. In 3-4 minutes, we will be right back. Get up, stand up. Callers, hold on.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan.